The Fantasia Film Festival is upcoming in Montreal, Canada from the July 16th until the 3rd of August, and in this video I'm going to highlight 10 films that are having their world premiere at the festival. The Fantasia Film Festival is one of the leading genre film festivals in the world, and in my opinion the best genre film festival in the world. And stay tuned throughout the festival next week for my daily reviews of genre films that are debuting at the festival. But before I get into 10 films that are debuting at the Fantasia Film Festival, I'm just going to highlight some honorable mentions that of films that are at the festival that you can watch, and are films that have already debuted in other countries or other film festivals around the world. Positions or Dollar Positions, I'm not sure how to pronounce it. This film debuted at the South by Southwest Festival in March and is a crazy comedy about a Midwest worker who risks his savings on crypto, spiraling into gambling addiction. Sounds like a crazy comedy and has a pretty good rating curve on Letterboxd and has 6 reviews on Rotten Tomatoes, 4 positive and 2 negative. There's also cktoys, which also debuted at the South by Southwest Festival this year. It is a comedy drama / fantasy directed by Annapurna Sham, who it's about a young woman who seeks to break a curse by raising $1,000 for psychics in a pre-millennium alternate universe. And this film is very highly rated on Letterboxd, a 3.8 rating, and has 14 reviews on Rotten Tomatoes, 13 positive and 1 negative, and this is definitely one of the highlights of Fantasia Film Festival this year. There's also Lifehack, which also debuted at the South by Southwest Festival in March, and is an action thriller about 4 teenage slackers attempt a multi-million-dollar Bitcoin heist from their bedrooms, only to spiral into the darkest corners of the internet and the danger beyond their computer screens. And Lifehack has a very nice positive curve on Letterboxd and has 11 reviews from critics on Rotten Tomatoes, and all of them are positive, so definitely check out Lifehack. And there's also ChaO, which is a Japanese animation that debuted at the Cannes Film Festival and has a nice 3.6 score on Letterboxd and has 1 positive review on Rotten Tomatoes, and is directed by Yasuhiro Aoki and is about a futuristic world where humans and mermaids coexist. The life of mild-mannered office worker Stefan is upended when he is suddenly proposed to by ChaO, a princess from the Mermaid Kingdom. There's also It Ends, which also debuted at the South by Southwest Film Festival and is directed by Alexander Ullum and is about friends on a late-night food run become trapped on an infinite highway with otherworldly terrors lurking beyond. And this film has a 3.7 rating on Letterboxd and 18 positive reviews on Rotten Tomatoes, 100%. And this film I've actually seen, and I haven't had a chance to do a review of this film, so maybe next week, if I during the festival, if I have a chance, I'll put up a review of this film on my YouTube channel, or after the festival I will do a review of this film. But this film was a bit of a mixed bag. I liked the premise, I liked the way it was executed, but there's some things in the film I didn't really like, so stay tuned for my review throughout the festival for It Ends. But I still definitely recommend checking out It Ends, even though I had my misgivings. It has a lot of positive elements in the film, so definitely check it out. It Ends during the festival. And there's Good Boy, which also debuted at the South by Southwest Film Festival. It's like a mystery thriller. Do you ever wonder why your dog stares at empty corners, barks for no reason, or refuses to go into the basement? Good Boy is a story of a dog who sees everything that goes bump in the night. No talking pets, just terrifying scares. So it sounds very ambitious and interesting, and is directed by Ben Lowenberg, has a 3.5 rating on Letterboxd and has 18 positive reviews on Rotten Tomatoes by the critics, so definitely check out Good Boy at the Fantasia Film Festival. And there's also Sham, which is directed by legendary Japanese filmmaker Takashi Miike and just debuted at the Tribeca Film Festival in New York, and is about a young student who shows signs of trauma. His parents act swiftly against his middle school teacher, but all may not be as it seems, leading the scales of justice to tip in fascinating, heartbreaking ways. It has a nice positive learning curve on Letterboxd and has 7 reviews on Rotten Tomatoes, 5 positive and 2 negative. So it definitely sounds like one of Takeshi Miike's best films in a while. So definitely check that film out at the Fantasia Film Festival. There's also Dollhouse, which debuted at the Hong Kong International Film Festival in April and was just released in Japan in cinemas in June, and is directed by Shinobu Yaguchi. It's about a child disappears from home and there is no explanation. The girl's parents search for her endlessly, but to no available. One day, the mother finds a large doll on the market that helps her compensate for the pain of losing her daughter. So I guess it's one of those horror doll movies, but it has a nice 3.4 rating on Letterboxd and 1 positive review on Rotten Tomatoes. So this is definitely one of the films that I really want to check out at the Fantasia Film Festival. And I'll just highlight 2 more films that I have reviewed on my channel already, but they have had a really very positive reception. I didn't really enjoy those 2 films, but I'll just highlight those films. You can check them out at the Fantasia Film Festival and see for yourself why they are so beloved. There is Reflection in a Dead Diamond, which debuted, I think it was in competition at the Berlin Film Festival. This is very much a homage to 60s and 70s James Bond's films, and if you're a fan of the directors, then I definitely highly recommend checking out this film. For me, I really couldn't follow along with the story, and I wasn't really in with the references. I'm not really a James Bond expert, so I was kind of confused and frustrated throughout this film, but it's definitely extremely very well made. So definitely recommend checking out Reflections in a Dead Diamond if you're in for that sort of film. And there's also Sweetness, which debuted, I think it was at the South by Southwest Film Festival, about a young girl, a teenage girl who kidnaps one of her favorite musicians and tries to, because he's like dealing with drug issues, and she kidnaps him and tries to rehabilitate him herself, and she turns into like a bit of a crazy fan, and it's kind of a road ride. There's some aspects of the film I really liked. The film kind of let me feel I was a little bit mixed on the film, but I still definitely recommend checking out Sweetness. It's one of the highest rated films on Letterboxd from that festival. So definitely checking out Sweetness at the Fantasia Film Festival. Okay, now I'm going to jump into 10 films that are debuting at the Fantasia Film Festival that are world premieres at the film festival. And the first is The Verdict, which is directed by Lee Chang-hee and Yusrin Faudi. Is a South Korean drama thriller about Rucker, a court security officer, and his pregnant wife Nina celebrate her success in passing the bar exam. While they have a rare evening of fine dining to savor the moment, their joyous celebration is shattered when Nina is found brutally murdered. The investigation quickly identifies Dika as the prime suspect, leading to his swift arrest. So it sounds like a kind of like a fugitive type court legal thriller. So definitely that sounds very interesting, and definitely one of the films that I hope to check out at the film festival. There's also The Undertone, directed by Ian Tewson, and is about the host of an all things creepy podcast who moves into her dying mother's house to be her primary caregiver. When her podcast is sent 10 audio recordings of a young pregnant couple experiencing paranormal noises, she realizes the woman's story is a mirror of her own, and each new recording scratches at her sanity, drawing her into a fate she cannot escape. So that premise, and it sounds very interesting and sounds like a nice indie podcast, like it's reflecting on current podcast, true crime podcast type things. So it's definitely one of the films that I hope to check out at the festival, The Undertone. And from Kazakhstan, we have the world premiere of Kazakh Scary Tales. It's about a cop ventures into a remote village to investigate a gruesome series of inexplicable events, and soon finds himself in the center of an otherworldly storm of local witchcraft and death. And I've seen a few films from Kazakhstan, like action thrillers and dramas, but I've never seen a horror film from Kazakhstan. So I definitely want to highlight this film, Kazakh Scary Tales, directed by Adilkhan Yuzakhanov, which is debuting at the Fantasia Film Festival, and hopefully I will have my review of this film on my YouTube channel for you. Next is The Woman, another film from South Korea, directed by Harang Wook, and is about an exchange of strawberries and a used household appliance turns into a nightmare for Seung Kyung when her partner turns up dead. Now she must follow the trail of a disturbing stranger. And this film this premise of this film looks very interesting. So hopefully I get to check out this film, The Woman, at the Fantasia Film Festival. And there is I Live Here Now, which is the directorial debut of Julie Pacino, and Julie is the daughter of legendary actor Al Pacino. And I Live Here Now is about a woman finds herself trapped in a remote hotel where the violent echoes of her past come alive, blurring the lines between her darkest nightmares and the waking world. So the premise of this film sounds very interesting. It stars actress Lucy Fry, and this is definitely one of the films that I hope to check out at the Fantasia Film Festival. And next is Terrestrial, starring Jermaine Fowler and directed by Steve Pink. Steve Pink directed the Hot Tub Time Machine films, and Terrestrial is about a reunion weekend spirals out of control for four college friends when the host, a science fiction writer on the verge of newfound success, fights to maintain his sense of reality in the face of sudden, uncanny dangers. So the premise of this film sounds very interesting, and it has a nice acclaimed director and a nice cast. So definitely checking out Terrestrial at the Fantasia Film Festival. And next is Anything That Moves, directed by Alex Phillips, and is about divine sex worker Liam biking through Chicago delivering snacks and pure satisfaction to his love-hungry clients, while a serial killer leaves a trail of blood that leads to the innocent lover's own bed. I'm always looking for a nice new discovery at these genre film festivals, and this film, Anything That Moves, definitely the premise of this film and the indie nature of the film and the premise definitely sounds like a film that I definitely want to check out at the Fantasia Film Festival. Anything That Moves. Next is Influencers, directed by Curtis David Harder. In southern France, a young woman's chilling fascination with murder and identity theft sends her life into a whirlwind of chaos. This film, I think, is set in France but has an American cast: Gina Campbell, Dylan Playfair. The premise of this film sounds very interesting. It's almost 2 hours long, so this is definitely one of the films that I hope to check out at the Fantasia Film Festival. Next is Mother of Flies, directed by John Adams and Zelda Adams, and is about a young woman faces a deadly diagnosis. She seeks dark magic from a witch in the woods, but every cure has costs. And this this duo has directed a lot of horror films in the last few years. They seem to have a new horror film out every year at these film festivals. They directed films such as Hellbender, which I've seen, which was okay. Hellbender, The Deeper You Dig, Where the Devil Roams, and Hellhole. And so this film is definitely a film to check out at the Fantasia Film Festival, Mother of Flies. And finally, we have The World, directed by Hubert Davis, and Hubert Davis has directed quite a few feature documentaries, and this film is his narrative debut, and is about in a world where environmental collapse has left survivors to fight for the precious resources needed to survive. A young woman's loyalties are tested by the arrival of a wounded man. And this film stars Shelley McCarthy and Arnold Pinnock, and I'm definitely interested to see Hubert Davis's narrative debut. Sounds very interesting. So please check out The World at the Fantasia Film Festival. And that concludes my preview of the 2025 Fantasia Film Festival. Please check out my daily reviews throughout the film festival of films debuting at the Fantasia Film Festival. So please comment below what films you're looking forward to at the Fantasia Film Festival, and please check out my reviews and comment on my reviews of films that you want to see at the film festival. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.